everybody, and welcome to another Thrifty Thursday. As you know, I had 2 weeks off because I was in quarantine, and I had an extra Thrifty Thursday, which was really great, and it came in handy. But now it's time for another Thrifty Thursday, and I'm excited to share with you what I got this week at the thrift store, because I got something that I have never seen in 34 years that I've been going there. So this is what I got this week at the thrift store, and I spend a whopping $20.50. One item I got was $10, and I think when you see it, you're going to understand fully why I got it. In fact, the cashier loved it. She said she would have got it if she would have seen it. So let me show you what we got at the thrift store first, and then I'll show you the extra surprise. Well, you know what? It's right here. I might as well just show you the extra surprise. I paid $10 for this. Yeah, from 1971, and it is from Williamsburg, Virginia, and it was $19.99 back in 1971. So I got a deal, I got a steal, and I got something really unusual. But what is it? Hopefully you can read on the box and it's not too much of a glare. But let me show you what's inside. It is the molding candles for hobbyists of all ages. Well, you know me, I'm a candle hobbyist. It is a whole candle making kit with beeswax from Williamsburg, Virginia bees. Look how old the beeswax is. Isn't that absolutely the most unusual thing you've ever seen? Because it is almost as old as me. I was born in 1970, and this one is from 1971. It has the candle mold, which I already have one like this that somebody gave me. Even came with the receipt. The receipt is so faded that you cannot make it out. I don't think you'll be able to see what it is. They paid $20.75 for it. Unbelievable. Now, if you bought something in 1971, would you keep it so pristine? Now, what am I going to do with it? That is the question. Honestly, it is a collector's item. I don't think I'm going to do anything with it. I'm not going to use this beeswax. I'm going to keep it like this and maybe put it on a display somewhere. I just think it is the most charming thing I have ever seen. I will use the candle mold to make some candles, beeswax candles, but it is so unique. So the kit would have opened up like this, and it explains to you all about it, all of the neat things in it. Candle making in colonial days. It has the copyright of 1950. It has the copyright of 1971 on the bottom of this paper that came with it. And there you go, everyone. I was really fortunate that I had an extra $10 because one of you lovely ladies back for my birthday gave me a $10 bill in a card and said, use this for something that you would love to get. Not a need, Tessie, a want. Every once in a while, I will get a really special gift like that. In the card, it will be $10 or $5. Lots of times it's $5. And they will say, use this for something special, Tessie. Not always a need. And this was not a need, but it surely was a want. So I really want to thank you so much, you lovely person who gave me the $10 back for my birthday. And I tucked it in my wallet, and I got it this with it. And I will cherish this a lifetime because this is so unusual and it's just so me. Like so me. Okay, so we'll put this away. Let me see. I would like to display it here. And now I did spend another $10, so I'll show you what I got. For $2.50, I got Lazy Days, and this was a cookbook for slow cooking. And I will be able to get my money back from it from making a video on all of the recipes I use in the book. I did spend $2 for this book, and it was half off. And it was a little pricey, for I only spent $1 on it. But it is folk medicine. And you know, I'm all about the old ways of living. And I'm guessing this probably maybe came from the same home that that old candle making kit came from, because this book is very old as well. It was with their vintage items. I had somebody really make fun of me in my last Thrifty Thursday, and I thought I would share it with all of you because it's so interesting when people have something to say about something that I say, but they don't realize that I sometimes do know what I'm talking about. Oftentimes you will hear me say something is vintage or something is old. In the past 5 years, I've had people that really condemned me for it. It bothered them. They didn't like me saying things were vintage and things like that. But in my thrift store, which is a Mennonite thrift store, one of the main workers there actually was an auctioneer for 45 years. And they are the ones that put the vintage items in the vintage area. And it is vintage. They are authorized appraisals. So they know when something is vintage. And the person wanted to make fun of me and say, I don't think Mennonites know what is vintage or not. Well, I hate to tell you this, but the person that works there that's head up is not a Mennonite, and they actually did work for an auctioneer. They were an auctioneer for a company. And I thought I would tell you this a little bit too. My birth father was an auctioneer for over 30 to 40 years. So auctioneering and vintage items run in my blood. And when I say something is vintage, that is because it's with the vintage items at the thrift store. And they have a special area. This book was there. And of course the candle making was there, where they have vintage items that were appraised as vintage from the auctioneer. So there's a little bit of a backstory about why I say things are vintage, simply because that's what they are. You know, I don't know why that bothers people so much about the word vintage or heirloom or things like that. You know, something that's older is older. I'm vintage and I'm proud of it. I love being vintage. Now, vintage is different for different people. You know, when they say, you know, a vintage item, or they say, you know, this and that, it's the same thing to me. Like, if it's vintage or heirloom or antique, you know, I think too many people see things so black and white all the time. Come on, just go with the flow and enjoy it, and enjoy a very old item. Maybe I should just say, these are the old items. Starting with me, maybe, right? Okay, so I got this for $1, and it is a wick trimmer. Isn't that neat? So it's to trim wicks on a candle. Never saw one of them before. And then I got this with the vintage items as well. This was 50 cents, and it is press right silicone steam iron cover. Oh, it is so cool. Some of the times I pick things like this out is because it reminds me of my mama. My mother had everything so particular, and she always had a cover for on her iron. So yeah, it brings back memories of my mom. It's not hard to bring back memories of my parents because so much of their life is with me. All of the items and the things that you see every day. Okay, and you know, of course, this was $1.50 and more golf wax because, hey, why not? Now, this is not vintage, but I had a lot of vintage ones in the past, remember? But this you can buy at Walmart right now, and I think it's still $4 or almost $5. So whenever I can get something like this, I pick it up because you just never know. You never know. I am really surprised that you can still buy that in today's world because, you know, I don't know what, a lot of people don't use golf wax anymore. For $1, I got this, and this is to make your own salad dressing. You use oil and vinegar. I have another use for it, of course. Always have a use for it. So I got this for $1. I spend a whopping $20.66. And then the cashier gave me this pretty bag to put it in. She always finds the neatest bags for me. I assume she knows that I will reuse them over and over again. Sometimes I will donate things back in these bags that they give me. what I'm doing different that I have never done before is I keep a bag out under my kitchen cabinet, and all week long, if I find something that I don't think I'm going to use anymore, I put it in that bag and keep it for when I go to the thrift store. And it has really been making a difference in my life. So instead of having big clean out days every day, or when I'm working, if there's an item that I don't use or I don't want, I just put it in that bag, and then once a week I take the bag to the thrift store and I donate it back. And that has really been able to keep all of my clutter down, and it's really been giving me a big purpose of just making sure everything that I use is intentional and things that I like and things that I can use, and not just things that are collecting dust. Well, everyone, that was my Thrifty Thursday, and as you can see, I'm back. Tessie's back. I said to hubby about on day 12, I said, Tessie's back. Tessie's back. And I get a little tired out at night, but I am feeling so much better. There is always the end of that long tunnel when you go through an illness. And hubby feels great too. And so we're back on track, and I'm so thankful for all of you who watch my videos, who make my life extra special. Well, take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. And I can promise you that. Bye, everybody.